Okay, welcome to Greenville Research. Today we will be covering an investment opportunity on what is called Fluorescent Sand, which is said to be the key to unleashing 5G on a mass scale. As usual, there is one company being teased here, and it is a small California company that trades for less than $10, so we are told. However, we already covered this, and don't get too excited. You'll see why, because it trades for over $10. Investment analyst Ian King is the guy behind it all. He claims that this fluorescent sand is the key to the 5G revolution, as we already said, and we could potentially see 3x to 4x gains over the coming years in the particular company that he's teasing. Okay, so if you don't know who Ian King is, he works for Banyan Hill Publishing, where he runs several investment advisory services. But before all of this, his background is pretty impressive. He actually comes from Wall Street. He started there at 21, working as a mortgage bond trader at Solomon Brothers, and eventually worked his way up to working with a team managing a hedge fund at Piahi Capital, where he and the team were able to pull off a 339% gain during the 2008 recession, which I think we all can agree is pretty impressive. That said, you definitely do have to take his teasers with a grain of salt at times, as we have seen from other teasers we've reviewed by him, such as that for Spectrum and Master Technology. You can click on either of these links if you want to find out more about those. But anyways, back to the opportunity at hand. We are told that it all starts with a petri dish of ocean sand, as is shown here, but it doesn't end there. Thanks to a Nobel Prize winning discovery that harnesses the true potential of this sand, which I will go into more detail on in a bit. This sand is actually transformed into a miracle material that glows and changes colors, which is the reason it is being called fluorescent sand. Now, why is all of this important? Well, because as we are told, it holds the key to unleashing 5G on a mass scale, which are his words, not mine. And throughout the presentation, Ian King goes on to show a bunch of stocks that have soared in the past, and stocks that he has recommended that have soared in the past, but he claims that this is the biggest opportunity he has ever seen. However, as I just mentioned, you have to take some of what he says with a grain of salt, because it seems that he says things along these lines for just about every investment teaser that he puts out. That said, he does compare this investment opportunity to that of mobile phones in the early days. And one example he actually gives is that of SBA Communications, which went up over 46,000% from 2002 to around mid-2017. He claims that the one company he is talking about today could possibly produce gains like this for investors, which is pretty insane to think about, and you definitely should not expect that. And he also goes on to contradict himself a bit by talking about how this investment opportunity has the potential to produce 3x to 4x gains, which is definitely good, but nowhere close to the 46,000% gains that investors in SBA Communications saw. And right on cue, after teasing this investment opportunity to insane proportions, King then goes on to pitch his investment advisory service. Now you can actually get a free report titled "The One Company Leading the 5G Revolution," as you can see here. However, the catch is that in order to get this free report, you first have to sign up to his subscription service called Automatic Fortunes. Now, the cheapest subscription level here is $47 a year, not bad at all, but wouldn't you rather just find out the company he's teasing for free? If so, then keep watching this video because I'm about to expose it for you guys. But before we get into that, let's talk about what fluorescent sand actually is. It's actually a made-up term by Ian King and the marketing team at Banyan Hill Publishing that is used to refer to fiber optics. The term fluorescent sand sounds catchy, it sounds cool, it sounds intriguing, and that is why it is perfect for their marketing of his service here. As we were told in the teaser, fiber optics was discovered by a physicist named Charles Kao. I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing that right, I hope so. And he's sometimes referred to as the father of fiber optic communications. And if you really want to, you can click on this link here to read more about him. Here he is. So what are fiber optics? Well, they're long, thin strands of glass. They're about as thick as a human hair, and they can carry large amounts of information via light signals. So how it works in a nutshell is the data is encoded into light signals and transmitted via the fiber optics to the receiving end, where it is then decoded so that you can, read your online newspaper, watch funny cat videos, and do whatever else you want to do on the internet. Prior to Cal's discovery, glass fibers weren't seen as having much potential because there was a high signal loss due to the light scattering, and they just weren't able to carry much data. However, after his discovery and after finding out that purifying the glass allowed them to carry loads of information over long distances with low signal loss, we have what we have today, fiber optics, which is being used to transmit 5G. And as we all know, 5G is around 20 times faster than 4G, sometimes up to 100 times faster, can carry a lot of information, and is very important for all sorts of emerging industries. Driverless cars, robotic surgeries, quantum computing, augmented reality, smart cities. 5G is going to be a major driving force behind all of this. In the teaser, King mentions that 5G will bring in about $12 trillion in revenue over the next 15 years. This is a pretty large prediction, and there's lots of numbers being thrown out there. However, I've seen even higher predictions, such as that by Qualcomm, which they predict 13.2 trillion by 2035. So without wasting more time, let's reveal this Fluorescent Sand stock. What is the stock that's going to supposedly bring you 3x to 4x gains and make you filthy stinking rich, and is somehow comparable to the opportunity of investing in SBA Communications back in 2002, which brought investors gains of over 46,000%? Well, let's see what clues we have here. We know that it is a tiny California company, that it trades at under $10 a share, and we know that they've mass-produced a simple device roughly the size of a thermostat to fill the gap in between the fiber optic cables and people's 5G phones. This is all information that comes straight from the teaser. And from what we can tell here, it sounds like the device King is talking about is some sort of hotspot or router. He talks about how the fiber optic cables will be used to transmit 5G over long distances, but then these small devices that the company produces will fill the gap in between 5G running these long distances and people's devices. And another clue that we were given is that this company has partnered with Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile. Not really that many clues, but we've been able to uncover it because this investment teaser has actually been around for quite a while, and there have been different clues thrown out there over the years. So any guesses as to what this company is? Well, here you have it. It's Inseego, ticker symbol INSG. The company is based in San Diego, California. We know it's a California company, as was written here. And the stock price has been around $10 for quite a while, but at the moment it's actually above $10, as I explained in the beginning. And very recently it made quite a jump, so it'll be a bit disappointing right now. Let's see. Yep. So right now it's at over $17, as you can see here. Trading at around $10 a while. Under $10 for quite a while. This is a 5-year chart here. But as very recently as mid-November to mid-December, it made quite a price jump, almost doubling in price. What Inseego does is manufacture 5G hotspots. Their 5G MiFi series is really taking off, and MiFi is a bit of a play of words, like stands for mobile Wi-Fi. Here's a screenshot we have of one. This 5G MiFi M1000 series is being sold a lot by Verizon, thanks to the partnership Inseego and Verizon have. And Inseego also has partnerships with Sprint and T-Mobile, which was also mentioned in the teaser. So there's no doubt that Inseego is indeed Mr. King's stock pick here. Not only do the clues match up well, but as mentioned, this teaser has been around for quite a while, over a year, and while it has evolved a bit and been updated to stay relevant, the same company has been teased the whole time. It is Inseego. So we know it's Inseego, but is there really the massive profit potential that King is talking about? I mean, after all, he did compare it to SBA Communications before it went up over 46,000% for investors. That would be a 46x gain. Should you expect it? Definitely not. A more realistic, less hyped prediction by King is that there is a real potential for triple and quadruple digit gains by 2035. Could this really happen? Well, even that's to be seen, but Inseego is a leader in 5G hotspots, and analysts are expecting the company to start finally turning a profit in 2021. So the company is positioned nice, and the financials are looking better and better. A 3x to 4x gain is definitely possible, but only time will tell. And as always, don't invest any more than you can afford to lose. So a quick recap on this video. Ian King over at Banyan Hill Publishing has been teasing the opportunity to make boatloads of money investing in what he calls Fluorescent Sand, which, here's the teaser by the way. Quite a long teaser, which I really summarized because it would take about an hour to go over this whole thing. And of course, this all ends in one sales pitch, as I already mentioned. But anyways, back to this. Fluorescent sand is just a made-up term that he uses to refer to fiber optics, which can be used to transmit 5G. He teases one company that doesn't really have anything to do with fiber optics, but is somewhat of an indirect, very indirect way to invest in it. It comes after the fiber optics. 5G is transmitted via fiber optics, and then this company bridges the gap between that and your smartphone. Now, normally you'd have to pay for the investment service to find out the name of the company he's teasing, but here at Green Bull Research, we do the research and find out for you. And Inseego it is. Yes, you're welcome. And one last thing before I leave. If you click on the link in the description, you can actually read more. You can go to this article and get more details on the stock. And also, if you wish, you can sign up to our newsletter list where we send out exposed teasers regularly. So teasers just like this, where we do the research and find out the stocks being teased. You can get information on those regularly for free just by signing up here. And that's it. Have a good day.